Hey guys, Cyberdena here, and in this week's video I'm going to be doing almost a full face of first impressions. So I've recently bought some Revolution eyeshadow palettes and other bits and bobs, and I have a tester foundation that I got from Maxima, I don't know, in like January or February I think. It's been a long time and it's just been sitting in my drawer. So I'm going to give that a go today. So I have two new primers to try out. I have the Revolution Glass Skin Primer and I have the Revolution Hydrate Primer. I think I'm going to try the Glass Skin Primer today, and I'll try the Hydrate another day, obviously. So the tester foundation I have is the Urban Decay Stay Naked in 20NN. Just a tiny little pot of it. Hopefully that'll be enough to do my face. I bought these sponges, which I have already dampened. I'll pop in a clip of them before I dampen them. These are the Real Techniques by Sam and Nick Brush Crush Cosmic Sponge Duo. So I got these at TK Maxx for $7.99, marked down from $21.99. So that's pretty decent. I've been looking at them because I don't know, they're spheres and I am obsessed. Although this one, he stays crinkled when I squish him. This is nice and soft. So I haven't fully decided what kind of eye look I want to go for yet, but these are the palettes that I got. So I got 3 of these palettes from Black Swallow, which is an Australian-based retailer. And when I bought them, they had I think like buy 3 products and get a free eyeshadow palette. And I didn't think that I managed to order within the time frame, but I did get the free palette, so yay! So the first palette I got was the Revolution Maxi Reloaded palette. It just has a lot of colours in it. This is the Monster Mattes. On the back it has the shades, and of these, only number 14 and number 29, so this purple and this brown apparently are pressed pigments and not to be used in the immediate eye area. The other palette I got from them was the Reloaded Deep Dive, which has blues and greens in it. And the freebie palette was the Reloaded Red Alert, which when I opened it, I dug my nail into accidentally. I don't know how, but it happened. From Priceline Australia, I also bought the Precious Stone Emerald palette on the recommendation of my best friend. And that's what that one looks like inside. I have used this one once, mostly just the neutrals and the metallic blue. And then the other new products that I'm going to try is the Lime Crime Velvetines Lip Liner in Minx and the Revolution Sheer Brilliant Lipstick in Sheer Chauffeur. I don't have like a blush, contour or highlight, but I feel like I'll probably be able to manage with the palettes that I have, maybe. And if I can't, then I'll just quickly chuck them on off camera. But yeah, so let's get started. I don't normally go for dewy products, but I'm curious. So I'm just going to do 2 pumps of that and just rub that onto my face. Ugh, that is so gross. It feels gross. I probably could have just done 1 pump. That is the primer on. I gave it a couple of minutes to sink in. It does feel kind of sticky-ish, not too bad. But now we're going to try to go in with the Stay Naked foundation, which looks like it has dried up quite significantly in there. But that's okay. Might just use like a little flat top brush. Does that even well, it's domed with a little kabuki style brush, which just fits in there. I'm just going to try that. Maybe I'll do that on this side because I have a bit more things like blemishes on this side, and then I'll try using the sponge on the other side. We'll see how that goes. So this is a really light layer on the left hand side of my face. Went on really easily with the brush. And I think it's sitting pretty nicely over that primer. Like I said, I haven't tried either of these before. So hopefully they play nice together. Now I'm going to try and dunk this in there somehow. Oh, it totally worked. It's a very soft sponge, so I'm not surprised. And I'm going to try that on the other side. The colour match of this looks pretty good. The girl wanted to try to give me like the 40 NN, I think. And I was like, please don't. I am very pale and I like to be pale. I don't want to be artificially tanned. So as expected with a sponge, there's very light coverage. Basically nothing. So I'm just going to go in with the brush and just add a little bit more to this side just so they're a bit more even. I think that foundation is looking pretty nice, especially over that primer. I think they're playing pretty nicely together. And I think the shade match is quite nice. I did only do a very light layer. I'd like to maybe get a new sample of this, which is actually still liquidy, and see how that goes. The sponge was nice. It was nice and soft. I don't think it really did anything specific, especially not with this foundation, so I'll try it again with another one. So I don't have a new concealer, so I'm just going to go in with my Flower Beauty Light Illusion L1 to 2 Fair, just a little bit under my eyes and just on my couple of blemishes. And I'm just going to quickly set under my eyes with the Flower Miracle Matte Powder, which I'm still testing out after my full face of Flower Beauty. Alright, so I think I'm going to go in with the Precious Stones Emerald palette. I think I just want to do like a nice, easy, neutral look, really. So I'm going to start with the shade Sorrel on a little kind of fluffy brush. This is a BH number 8 brush, and I'm just going to take that in my crease, or above it really, because I have slightly hooded eyes, so I like to be able to see this lighter colour, so I put it above my crease. And on a smaller brush I'm just going to take that underneath my lower lash line as well. And then on a BH number 9 brush, I'm just going to go in with Kyoto, which is like a bit of a deeper movie brown. And I'm going to focus this more on the outer corner and into my crease. So this colour does have a bit more pigmentation than Sorrel does. Sorrel's just a nice light wash of colour. Should probably have zoomed you in, hey? Hey. It is kind of not wanting to stick kind of right in my crease just here. I just tried packing it on a bit more, but it doesn't really want to go. I might pop that on my inner corner as well and do kind of a halo eye. So there are two light coloured shimmers in here. We have Astral and Heaven, and they pretty much look exactly the same. With a flat brush, I'm just going to go in with the shade Heaven, and I'm just going to wet my brush and and apply that in the center. I'm just going to take a little bit of Astral on a little brush just on my inner corner. I'm just going to go do the other eye off camera and do liner and lashes, and I will be right back. Alrighty, so I just finished up my eyes off camera. I used a couple of the shades to highlight, contour and blush. The blush I used the shade Gem, which is this like deep plum here, and I used a very light hand. I used Chromatic to contour very lightly, and I used Heaven to highlight. And my eyeliner is just the Deadly Sins eyeliner and an Essence mascara, and now we're ready to do the lips. So this is the shade, I think they describe it as mushroom brown. It is very smooth. Wow, I never really used lip liners, so this is a new experience. And I just smudged that in because the lip product I'm using is a sheer one. And that's what it looks like. It smells really good. And it doesn't really look all that sheer, so. So this is the final look with my almost full face of first impressions. So far, I think everything's sitting on my skin really nicely. The primer and foundation seem to be agreeing. The foundation has settled into my fine lines, but I didn't really set it, so that's not a big deal. I did powder around my nose, but you can still see a bit of that shine coming through. So I don't think I'd use the glass primer around my nose area because I do get a bit oily around there. But so far everything's looking good. I'd be curious to see how this primer goes with a drier foundation like the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie. That on me is quite dry, so I'd like to see if this would bring that to life a bit more. Maybe I'll try that tomorrow or the next day, who knows. Maybe I'll try that soon and see how that goes. But for now, I think this is looking pretty good. The eyeshadows all performed pretty well, other than like it not wanting to stick in that outer corner, but now that there's a shimmer there, you can't really tell that there was an issue. The sheer lip is quite glossy. I don't know what I really expected, maybe it to be more like a blotted lip, but I'm not mad about it. It's pretty nice. It's not stringy, it's not doing that weird bunching up thing yet. I like the colour of the lip liner. Yeah, everything seems pretty a-okay so far. I haven't used setting spray on my face, and I'm not going to, just to see how this goes. And yeah, I'll update you a bit later. Alrighty, so it is the end of the night. I've had this face on for like 10 hours at this point, and I have some thoughts, kind of. I have reapplied my lips because it's a lip gloss. They don't last. But it has been very hydrating. As it was wearing off, my lips just felt nice. They weren't all dry, which is pretty normal for me to have like pretty dry lips. So that's been nice, feeling hydrated. The foundation looks pretty nice. I just dabbed over it with a sponge because in the last maybe couple of hours it had started sinking into my forehead lines, but throughout the rest of the day when I was looking at it, it was fine, sitting nicely. A little bit of bunching around my nose, but I mean, I expect that. Noses are a crease. It did get pretty dewy, glowy, oily throughout the day, but like I wasn't doing anything, I just dabbed it with the sponge and it's pretty good. I could use powder again if I wanted, but I'm not going anywhere. The eyeshadows lasted pretty well. They've started creasing now, but I think that probably happened in about the last 2 hours as well. But everything else is looking pretty nice. Very dewy, my goodness. So yeah, all in all, I think all of these products have performed pretty well. I'm really liking how it's all going. I'm going to try that glass skin primer with the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation just to see how it goes with that, because that is quite dry on my skin. Like I said, I'm probably not going to put it around my nose again. Everywhere else, I'll give it a go, just like maybe half a pump, because it is quite fluid and it does spread quite well. But yeah, I am really looking forward to trying the greens in this. Green is my favorite color and I love green very much. So everything that I used will be listed down below, and yeah. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!